I finally got my hands on this new RTX 3090 Ti. Nvidia says this is the most powerful GPU for content creation. Does it live up to its name? Let's find out! Hey guys, Realmeltan here. Welcome back to my channel. This is MSI's gaming extro of the RTX 3090 Ti. The 3090 Ti itself is similar in spec to the RTX 3090. Both have 24GB of GDDR6 VRAM, but the 3090 Ti is clocked slightly higher and has more CUDA cores than the 3090. Before we go into more detail on how this card looks like, let's look at some of the benchmarks. Okay, this is our test setup. You can see the GPU is now seated nicely on the B550M Motor Wi-Fi. Inside is AMD's 5900X. I'm supposed to use a 12th gen CPU as well as MSI's Z690As to test this GPU, but there were some issues with the motherboard, so that will be for another video. And one more thing, MSI would like me to mention their new power supply. If you have watched my previous unboxing video, this is MSI's new power supply, the A1000G 1000 watt power supply. This GPU uses a lot of power, so having a 1000 watt power supply ensures that this 3090 Ti can work to its fullest potential and there will not be any issues when it comes to benchmarking. Okay, let's first start off with some gaming benchmarks. First game, CSGO. The 3090 Ti runs similar to the 3090 at 1080p, but it is 6.2% faster than the 3090 at 1440p. I'm not sure if anyone will actually buy this GPU to play CSGO, but if you want more than 600 FPS doing your gameplay, you may consider this card. And also doing all of the major smokes and all of the major flashbang, you will get almost 200 FPS if you get this GPU for CSGO. Next, let's go on to two AAA titles, first one being Cyberpunk 2077. We are running this game at 4040p, RTX is on Ultra, and DLSS is set to quality. The 3090 Ti runs 10.7% faster than the 3090 at 4040p. It is also 6.4% faster than the 3080 Ti. If you plan to use FSR or FSR quality, you will get 4 more FPS if you use this GPU. Okay, next game we have Watch Dogs Legion. Similar to Cyberpunk, we have set the RTX to Ultra and DLSS to quality. Both the 3090 Ti and 3090 game at 70 plus FPS on these settings. Not much difference between these two GPUs as well as the 3080. At 4K with the same settings, I believe these GPUs will perform at 50 to 60 FPS. Next up, let's put this GPU to the real test with content creation benchmarks. First off, we have Blender. On the Monster, Junk Shop and Classroom performance tests, 3090 Ti is 4.9% faster than the 3080 and 4.1% faster than the 3080 Ti. Next, on Keyshot, in the solo GPU benchmark, the 3090 Ti is also 4.9% faster than the 3080 and a whopping 10.7% faster than the 3080 Ti. In V-Ray's CUDA performance, the 3090 Ti is more than 6% faster than the 3080 and 3080 Ti. However, on the ray tracing test, the 3090 Ti is only about 5% faster than 3080. Both GPUs use the same generation of RT cores. So, the additional 5% ray tracing performance probably may not justify the higher cost of the 3090 Ti. More on that later. And our final benchmark, the main one, Octane Bench. The 3090 Ti is also more than 5% faster than the 3080. The high overclock and more CUDA cores definitely help the 3090 Ti in this benchmark. The 3090 Ti is a very thick and very powerful GPU. It occupies 4 slots on your motherboard as well as your PC case. As a reference, I have this 3080 Ti Supremax over here. I know this is not the best comparing a gaming extro versus Supremax, but you can see when you align it, it's a lot thicker. It's thick. It's very, very thick. Make sure you have enough room in your PC case, especially for lower portion if you want to install this GPU inside your case. Similar to other gaming extros that MSI has released, this 3090 Ti comes with one RGB strip in front. Very nice, very sexy. It has 3 display ports and 1 HDMI. You can toggle between the silent and gaming modes on this GPU. You also can put 2 3090 Ti's in SLI using this NVLink over here. And of course, the big main draw is this single 12-pin power connector. Very handy because you don't have to contend with having 3 separate cables to power this GPU. This is the power cable that MSI has provided to power this GPU. Make sure you connect all 3 power connectors because you will need all that power to power this GPU. Each connector supplies you 150 watts of power and the PCI slot supplies you 75 watts. So that is 525 watts of power. And knowing that this card draws almost 450 watts, you will definitely need to connect all of this up, make sure that you have enough power to power this GPU. And of course, being an ARB card, this 3090 Ti is definitely clocked higher than your reference stock 3090 Ti. According to the spec sheet, this 3090 Ti clocks at 1920 MHz. Even though these numbers don't actually make a lot of difference anyway in games and okay, whatever. And talking about power consumption, we aren't joking about how much this card actually draws. On Octane Bench, we see a load of 370 watts used by this GPU. MSI recommends that you at least have an 850 watt power supply on hand if you want to have this complete setup. We are just using a 5900X over here for a test setup. If you're going to use something more high-end such as a 12th gen CPU, you definitely need more power. This 1000 watt power supply really helps us a lot. How hot does this 3090 Ti actually run? Surprisingly, for such a high-end GPU, this Gaming X Trio averages at 75 degrees C during our Octane Bench runs. It maxes out a little over 80 degrees C. However, the 3090 Ti does get toasty around its memory junction. While on load, it averages at 85 degrees C and maxes out at 88. With an MSRP of almost $3,000, is this 3090 Ti actually worth it to buy? It's hard to tell actually. Yeah, GPU prices are going up again, so you can never get this 3090 Ti at $3,000. If you truly want the best of this generation, you may consider this 3090 Ti. You'll get a huge amount of frames in esports games, slightly better performance in AAA titles such as Cyberpunk and Watch Dogs Legion, and you get slightly more performance in content creation. However, I probably would not consider this card. A 3080 Ti like this is already good enough for gaming, and the 3090 is already a very powerful card. You will get slightly over 5% added performance using this 3090 Ti over the 3090. This 5% performance in, for example, VRAM, I think does not justify the added $500 difference between the 3090 Ti and the 3090. And also, you will need to consider having a very powerful PSU to power this GPU. I guess this is a sign of what may happen when Nvidia releases the next batch of GPUs, RTX 4000. There's already rumors saying that the next generation of flagship cards will also consume the same amount of power as this 3090 Ti. I hope it does not happen because this adds up to a lot of cost. The 3090 Ti is definitely the best at gaming and content creation. However, if you need more power and more VRAM for high-end applications such as deep learning, I suggest you look at something such as the RTX A6000. That said, if you are okay with the amount of power that this guy can do for content creation, you will definitely save the money should you go for an A6000. Let me know in the comments if you're going to consider buying this 3090 Ti if you already own a 3090. If you like this video, make sure to smash the thumbs up button, and we look forward to seeing you in the next tech episode.